We're joined today by the Los Angeles Angels pitching coach and, of course, the Indians pitching coach from 2013 to 2017. Before that, the Lake County Captains pitching coach in 2010, their championship year. We're with Mickey Callaway today. Mickey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Andrew. Hope everybody else, all the Captains fans are doing well and are safe.
As well as can be expected given the circumstances, and hope you and your loved ones are safe as well.
Thank you.
Well, before we get into the 2010 team, obviously you have a very long and strong baseball resume behind you, but it all started in 2010. And before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about your perspective in all of your years in the Indians organization as part of that pitching development system. You're, of course, the big league pitching coach from 2013 to 2017, but started with the organization in that 2010 year with the Captains. Since then, we've seen the fruits of that pitching development program start to blossom in the majors the last few years, including some key pieces from the 2016 pennant-winning team. So what, in your eyes, has made the Indians a perpetual pitching development machine?
I really just think it's the collaboration that exists within the organization, and everybody is open to anything. You know, everybody's going to experiment. Everybody's going to keep a open mind to whatever's out there that can assist them in being better. And I think that's the key to the Indians' success in the pitching department. I think that it's fostered from, the higher ups. Chris Antonetti, Mike Chernoff have done an unbelievable job of empowering people in that organization to do their jobs, and they hire people that are going to be collaborative and think outside the box, and it's paid off well for them.
In your time with the organization, how much pride did that pitching core take in seeing those homegrown guys percolate to the top?
Yeah, we wanted to be the best, right? We wanted to be the best pitching staff that ever existed. And that was our goal every day. We worked really hard on all aspects of the game, whether it was nutrition, weight lifting. We tried to make sure we hit on every facet that could possibly help them: the mind, the body, even the soul. We tried to make sure that every part of it was taken care of. So when they got on that mound, all they had to do was focus on the next pitch. And we talked about that a lot. And I thought that all those players really bought in and did a great job from rookie ball on up. So I think it's a great atmosphere, a great pitching atmosphere. And we have some great pitching minds in that organization. And, I was just proud to be part of it for just a little while.
So let's talk 2010 in Eastlake. It's your first year coaching in the Indian system. You're on a staff led by two-time World Series champion and well-respected baseball man Ted Kubiak, and you go on to win the first and thus far only championship in Captains history. What memories stand out to you from that season?
Really the biggest memory is Ted, myself, Phil Clark, all of us just standing there on the headlines after we won and watching guys dogpile on the mound. I mean, there's no better feeling than that. Just being so proud of what those guys accomplished. You remember all the championships, that's for sure. I won a few as a minor league player, won one in the major leagues, came close with the Indians. Game 7 was a tough one, but you never forget those championships and the people that were part of it. So that the biggest memories, just standing there on the sidelines, just grinning. And I think there's a picture of it somewhere. I think I have it, of the coaches just standing there watching those guys dogpile. And what a great memory it was. We had a great team. Not only were they a great team, but a great people. And that's usually what it takes to do something special together. And, that's kind of stuck with me throughout my coaching career, is if we want to do something special, you got to have the right people on the bus. And that year we had the right people on the bus. It was a great season, great people, great memories.
I know there's another great picture of Ted holding the trophy, and right behind him is one of the key pieces from that championship team who became a key piece of the Indians later on. Catcher Roberto Perez was leading your pitching staff that year. So what do you remember about his ability to handle the pitching staff even then, and how has he evolved since then?
He's a winner. we came close the next year in Kinston because of him again. He's a guy that can lead a staff. He's doing it at the major league level for a long time now and having major success. He did it that World Series run we had in the major leagues as well. He's just a winner. I was with him for several years, and I think the world of Roberto Perez. We had some knockdown dragouts. We're best buds. I would never change anything about our relationship. This kid, he's a winner, and he comes to play every day. So, I wish the best for him. What a great guy to be around, and one of the best catchers I've ever been, especially leading a staff. There's no doubt that that's what he excels in.
Did you see the pop coming that he had last year?
You know what? You could see it. You always knew that raw power was in there. You were hoping enough contact would happen, that he would be able to hit 20 plus, and he did. I was very proud of him.
And that staff that he was leading and that you were coaching that year went on to have 7 guys make the big leagues. What stands out to you from that pitching group?
I think we're strike throwers. That was our main goal. That was our main goal in the major leagues when I was with the Indians. It's our main goal right now with the Los Angeles Angels. We have to throw strikes, and those guys did. I think Matt Packer had 90-something strikeouts and 14 walks. Vidal Nuno about the same, 95 and 12 or 14 walks. Those guys threw strikes, the Preston Gilmets, all those guys that pitched in the big leagues. Tyler Sturdivant, I think, walked 7 and struck out 50, something crazy like that. So, those guys threw the ball over the plate and gave us a chance to win, and we won.
And that, again, was your first year coaching in professional affiliated baseball. So what did you learn from that season? How has your philosophy in coaching guys and running bullpen sessions changed since then?
Yeah, not a ton. I learned a lot just about baseball in general from Ted Kubiak. You mentioned his name earlier. He's one of the best baseball minds I've ever been around. I really enjoyed being with him. Just learned a lot about baseball. Pitching is a simple game. Throw the ball over the plate, make them hit it. And that's what I try to do with all my staffs is express to them how hard hitting can be, because it's the hardest thing to do in all of professional sports. So challenge them, make them hit it, and good things will happen. That staff did it really well. Bullpens and things like that. Some technology has changed. We have high-speed cameras we're using nowadays. We're using Rapsodos to get the spin rate and things like that. So we're doing a little bit more of that in bullpens. But the overall picture when we're talking to our pitchers is throw the ball over the plate. When you're on the mound, your focus is where the ball goes. And the intent is going to always be there in practice as well in the game. And, that's what we continue to focus on. We have a little bit better technology, like I was talking about, to see how the ball comes off the hand and understand how the ball moves, on what axis it's spinning, things like that, to help us, be even better. And it makes the game fun. The technology part of it is something that really allows you to dig deep into things that we've always thought about as baseball players, but we never really got to see in slow motion. You couldn't really use a VCR tape too well when I was playing, to slow things down and get a good image. So these guys have an advantage, and I think that guys nowadays use it to the best of their ability.
During that 2010 season, you won the first half in dramatic fashion, a walk-off home run by Casey Frawley. What drove the team in that first half, and can you take me inside the dugout for that home run?
Yeah, I think it was just a good group of guys that, some of them had played together. Some had, just been introduced to the rest of the group. And I'm a big group development guy. I talk about that stuff a lot. The stages of group development are very important to a high-performing team. And they went through those first stages of group development really quick and understood who each other was. and really felt comfortable out the get-go. So we ended up winning that first half, and that bomb by Casey Frawley was a great memory. I think that little Casey Frawley had some pop in his bat for his size, and when he hit it, we were all jumping up and down. It felt like you had already won the season halfway through. So pretty cool way they did the Midwest League back then in the halves, and I think that's really cool way to do it because it made the first half fun, and then you could relax and play ball in the second half.
Yeah, you went 44-25 in that first half. Did you have any concerns going into the playoffs? Because that second half you were sub 500.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that that's part of playing in a league with two halves. I did it when I was playing a little bit. I remember playing in Taiwan, and we did the two half thing, and you get in, and then you're able to relax a little bit, and then we knew that those guys were going to get the job done in the playoffs because our pitching was outstanding. And pitching and defense wins games and wins championships, and when we had both.
You did have solid pitching in the playoffs. Preston Guillemette, one of those 7 captains, pitchers who made the big leagues, saved 5 of your 7 wins in the playoffs, including 4 elimination games. What stands out about his performance, and what other performances stick out in your mind?
You know what? His ability to keep on going out there, even at that level, at that age, a couple of us thought we were going to get fired for continuing to pitch him out there in the playoffs, but those guys wanted to win. We had to get some okay from up above to be able to pitch him in as many games as we did in the playoffs, just to make sure that he stayed healthy, and of course he did, and ended up having a pretty good career. So he was just a strike thrower, one of those guys we talked about that threw the ball over the plate, made him hit it, and that's the reason he pitched in the big leagues some. So unbelievable job by him to pitch in as many games as he did in that championship series, and he's just a fun guy to watch.
I want to take you to game 2 of the championship series in Clinton, Iowa. Just a nightmare scenario I can only imagine for you. The game goes 18 innings. Your starter, Trey Haley, is out after 3, and you had to bullpen it in the second game of the championship series. What do you remember from your guys gutting that one out, and how did it set up the rest of the series?
That's one of those things where it was a game that kept on going, and in Clinton, Iowa, playing on that field, I think there's a dog food plant down the road that made it really smell bad. So what a town that was to be able to play in, and have an 18 inning game in the playoffs is something that you'll never forget. I think we played a 23 inning game the next year in Kinston. I think Roberto Perez might have caught all 23, but you play those long games like that, it's taxing, and these guys continue to battle and battle and battle. Clinton had a great team. They had some really good prospects on their team, and it's fun to be able to play 2 games in one day when you're only supposed to play 1.
I want to talk about one of those guys and see if you can embarrass a friend of ours from that game 2 performance. You used 5 pitchers, 5 relievers, 6 pitchers in that game. And the guy who ate the bulk of those innings, pitched 6 innings, was the captain's pitching coach last year, Owen Dew. Can you embarrass our friend Owen a little bit?
Yeah, you know what? He came in and did a heck of a job. I think he threw about 90 pitches that day. What a great guy he is. I'm glad that he's able to stick around pro ball.
Last one for you, Mickey. Obviously, your memories from that 2010 season, winning the championship, the dog pile at the end. What are some of your favorite memories that have taken you through the rest of your professional coaching career? How has that season affected your professional coaching career?
I think that I wasn't even supposed to be the captain's pitching coach that year. I think I was supposed to go to short season A, and then somebody retired in the pitching staff in the minor leagues, and I ended up getting to go to Lake County. So I was very fortunate enough to get around those really great pitchers and strike throwers that we had, and it really showed me the importance of what strikes can do from a coaching perspective, and how much easier it can make it on the manager, the coaches, and then ultimately to win games, which is the most important thing. So, I took a lot of lessons from that year, learning how to connect with players, learning how to, teach them the right way. And I've continued to learn that throughout my career. I learned something every day. I think that Lake County captain is always going to be something special to me. That's for sure. Great ballpark, great fans. And the Midwest League is a great league. I thought it was a great league for travel, and we had fun doing it.
Where's your ring?
It is in the safety deposit box with my World Series ring and my American League Championship ring. So it's not quite as big as those other two, but just as special.
There you go. Mickey, thank you so
Yeah,
much for taking the time with us and reminiscing.
absolutely, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
That's former Captains and Indians pitching coach and now Angels pitching coach, Mickey Callaway.